Alright, you guys, so like I said the other day on Monday, we were going to be starting kind of a little bit of a video series. We're going to continue on with that now. Today's Wednesday. I wanted to get this up yesterday on Tuesday, but didn't really get the chance. 4th of July kind of nailed that one out for me. But I wanted to kind of get this out. We're going to kind of Tuesdays, we'll try to get this consistently going. Tuesdays is technique day, training day, technique Tuesday, whatever you want to be as far as that goes. But one thing I heard a story the other day that kind of made me think a little bit, kind of about the discussion we wanted to have here today. So heard the story. There's this husband and wife. They're in the kitchen together, they're getting ready to cook dinner, and the husband's chopping up tomatoes, onions, and everything else for salad. His wife is cooking a ham. They're getting ready to have sit down for dinner, and before she puts the ham in the oven, she slices the two ends off the ham and puts it in the oven. The husband, as he's chopping up, kind of looks at it like, turns and asks his wife, like, honey, why did you cut the two ends of the ham off? She looks at him, it's supposed to help cook it. It's supposed to help cook from the outside in. It's supposed to help, with the heat dispersion and everything else. And he's like, really? That's different. And so she goes on like, well, yeah, that's the way I was always taught. That's the way my mom taught me to do it. And so they got to thinking a little bit, and they talked a little bit about it. And she's like, you know what? Let's call my mom and kind of see why she did it. And so they call her up, get her on the phone, and start talking a little bit. Hi mom, how you doing? And then goes to explain like, mom, we're getting ready to cook dinner. We're getting ready to sit down for it, and I'm cooking a ham. I sliced the two ends off of it, just like you used to when we were growing up. Why is that? Why do we do that? And so she went on to say, it helps with the temperature regulation. It helps, get from the outside in. It helps circulate the cooking, make sure it's even. And so they get on the discussion a little bit more, and she goes, really? How does that work? And she goes, you know what? Really, I don't know. That's the way your grandma always did it, and that's the way I was taught. And so yada yada yada, they continue going on, and so okay, we'll call grandma. So they call grandma up, they call her on a three-way phone call, and get grandma on the phone. Same thing, start talking, catch up a little bit, and all of a sudden the daughter gets on the phone and says, hey grandma, you know what, we're getting ready to cook dinner. We're cooking a ham, I sliced the two ends off of it. It's supposed to help with heat. It's supposed to help with circulation. Helps with cooking. Mom said she learned from you. Why do you do that? And she goes, really? I always cut the two ends of the ham off because my oven wasn't big enough and I had to fit it in the oven. And so that's another kind of an older story, I guess. I just heard it the other day. But one of the things that kind of, when I heard it, resonated a little bit with me was thinking about why we do stuff. I think a lot of times we kind of go through the motions with a lot of things that we do just because whether we heard it through a third party or whether we just to kind of get it over with. We really don't put any thought into the what and the why of why we do stuff. A good one that kind of always comes to mind is with all the warm-up activities, especially that we've been doing as of late. With whether it is the shoulder rehab stuff or the plank holds or stuff like that, as what is the bigger picture in which we're trying to build upon. We're doing the banded YTWs. I had a conversation with the athlete the other day that was working up on the rings, working towards improving their swing, working towards improving and getting their muscle up and everything else, and working on their back pull and everything else. It's like, that's why we do the Ys, that's why we do the Ts, that's why we do the Ws. That makes sense. It's like, so everything that we do has a purpose that may not be the bigger, the big main movement on it, but it has an underlying factor of it. We've been hitting home day after day after day of the plank and the hollow holds, and learning to engage that. It's not just so we get, this sexy six-pack and everything else. Like, yes, it's great to work towards strengthening those muscles, but more than anything, you guys, it is to help you build core stability, build that strength when you're working handstand push-ups, when you're working swings, when you're working pull-ups, when you're working on back squatting, when you're working all those kind of things through there. It all pays dividends. So it's the smaller and underlying things that all have a purpose purpose that can be really easy just to kind of go through the motions on and just to kind of get it over with. So when I heard that story, it just made me think of, okay, it's, you know, here they have the right idea, but they don't necessarily put the whole forethought into the purpose behind it. And so when you're going through the exercises, whether it's with your barbell stuff, whether it's with weight, whether it's gymnastics, whether it's your endurance stuff, don't skimp out on the small stuff, because that's going to paint the biggest picture towards the bigger stuff. You know, there's always a purpose behind everything that we're doing. So make sure that you utilize every exercise and attack it with a purpose. You know, of making sure your planks and your hollow holds are as uncomfortable as you can make them. Make them the best you can be. So when you are tired and you're on your thousandth of rep doing something, your body's going to understand what that technique is going to look like. So I thought that story might help. It kind of helped with me a little bit as far as thinking about the bigger picture. Hopefully it helps you guys today.